Welcome everyone to November AMA for VideoCoin. And we're here with Halsey Minor. And for those of you who don't know who Halsey Minor is, he's a technology visionary behind some of the greatest successes in enterprise computing like CNET, Uphold, Salesforce, Google Voice, OpenDNS. He's also the strategic technology partner and investor in the VideoCoin network, and currently also the CEO of Live Planet. So we're going to run through a few questions that you guys had in the community over the last few weeks that we've asked. And Halsey, if you're ready, I'll dive right into it.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. So question number one, what is the greatest challenge for VideoCoin as you prepare to launch the private alpha in January of 2019?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the fortunate thing is that we have great engineers. We've added some. What we're actually building, we have direct experience building. So, you know, we're building this cloud-based video infrastructure that competes with Amazon and Google's infrastructure. And, you know, a huge advantage we have is that Devaduta Gat, who's our CTO, actually is one of the few people in the last 10 years who's actually built one of these. He built Intel's video streaming cloud, which for a variety of reasons they decided to sell to Facebook, and how Facebook got into video. So, you know, understanding the game plan, understanding what customers want, understanding the technology stack that we have to build, you know, in contrast to so many other companies we've actually done before. You know, honestly, it's obviously a little different because we're using a token payment system as opposed to just straight financial rails. But you know, we've got the technology very much in hand, and combined with our great engineers, I don't see a lot of impediments for us, you know, getting this done, you know, in 2019.
Fantastic. Question number two: could a company accomplish what VideoCoin is trying to accomplish with fiat currency payments on a blockchain? And what advantage does VideoCoin have as a cryptocurrency over fiat-based payments?
Yeah, so I mean, let's start kind of with the basic of what a blockchain does for us. So because we're not running in a single data center, we're running in data centers that you know, will effectively be all over the world. In fact, you want them to be all over the world for both reasons of performance, but also to be in lower cost you know, jurisdictions. We have to do a couple of things with our coin. We have to be able to measure the capability of the servers that we are going to use. We have proofs that can prove that they can actually perform encoding and storage and streaming. So that's an important piece of software. The other part is actually the measuring of the activity that goes on that server, and based on what the servers do or what the data centers do, they receive compensation. And then on top of that, we need to figure out a way that we can compensate them irrespective of geography. And so the blockchain that we built is absolutely critical to the ability to harness all of these resources that are global, because our whole business model is built around being able to tap into underutilized resources to substantially reduce the cost of services like Amazon Web Services. Great.
And question number three: customers and larger companies might not be comfortable sending large sums of USD to exchanges to buy VideoCoin. And it's also pretty easy to get set up with Amazon and get invoiced in your local currency, pay within 30 days, et cetera. How will you make it easy for customers to join? And will there be a similar sign-up process to AWS EC2 via your website?
Yeah, so this is actually a really good question. So I started in this industry by launching a company called Uphold, which is one of the few companies where you can connect your US, European, and UK bank accounts and buy crypto. When we launched with Bitcoin and 15 fiat currencies. And I believe today they have, I don't know, 6 to 10 cryptocurrencies, gold and 4 metals, and I think over 30 currencies. So I've actually built a payment system before, and I think probably a lot of ICOs today, they don't really recognize the fact that they're going to be in the payments business because they're going to be accepting money to provide a service. So that is a payments system. You know, the technologies that I've built, the reason they've been successful is because, you know, I try to drive on 2 things. One is making adoption easier and easier, and making the benefit greater and greater. And so anything that stands in the way of adoption relative to a competitor is really important. And the question really kind of gets to you know, an issue which is really important, which is, you know, how do you reduce the friction around payments when, you know, so many of these coins require you to go to an exchange and convert the money. And I would say a couple of things. One is, I think we're going to do some very innovative things around payments. We understand the problem, and we also understand that while cryptocurrencies are more volatile than other currencies, there's also volatility that goes on between the dollar, the euro, and particularly as you get to smaller countries, you get even more volatility. So I think one of the things you'll see us do is real honest-to-goodness innovation around the payments process, so that for those who don't want to go to an exchange, for those who don't want to take on currency risk, that we create a system that's both easy and to them feels very de-risked.
Great. Next question. What will change for the average daily video consumer reach through the VideoCoin blockchain?
So, you know, to start out with, not a whole lot. I mean, our goal is to help predominantly all these large media companies who are in a terrible position today. They're spending millions or tens of millions of dollars with Amazon and Google, and they are in direct competition with Amazon. Amazon just bid on 10 sports networks that were owned by Fox that are being sold by the Fox acquirer Disney. So they are straight up head-on competitors with every media company in the world, and yet they're pouring money into Amazon Web Services, and Amazon Web Services turns out to be the most profitable business that Amazon has. So they're using that to compete. So on top of that, you've got all of the cord cutting that's going on. So you've got, you know, skyrocketing costs on top of, you know, giving money to their competitors. So our primary benefit to start with is not really around the end user. It's really around saving the content creators huge amounts of money. That being said, there's been very little innovation in video for a very long time, because, I mean, probably since YouTube, really. Now we're starting to see things like VR. So we're at the front edge of seeing sort of new revolutionary uses of video. But I think because we have an open ecosystem, you know, we can create a developer network, so we can start seeing the kind of innovation that's not happening around Amazon Web Services, is not happening around the Google Cloud. So by, you know, having an open source project, you know, you always get much greater participation and innovation.
Great. And what type of businesses should be considering VideoCoin as a platform for their video content, encoding, and streaming?
Yeah, so, I mean, look, everybody is now a video producer. It's roughly 80% of the internet's traffic. It's compounding annually at 25%. So I don't think it'll take long for it to get to 90% of the internet. So the internet has basically become a video network, as opposed to what it was, you know, 10 years ago, where it was graphics and text. So everybody is effectively a potential user. That being said, we really think that the companies who will generate the most margin or the most benefit are the largest companies who genuinely want to get out of being in the Amazon ecosystem and who need to dramatically reduce their cost. And because their numbers are so large, if you save them 50 to 70%, it's a really meaningful number for those companies. But, you know, that being said, I think we see over time being a broader utility, possibly even down to the user, level at some point in time.
Great. And we'll wrap it up with one final question, Halsey. What do you see for VideoCoin over the next 2 years?
Yeah, so I think the way we're going to I think the way we're going to approach the market, excuse me, is to really go after the front edge of video that is also the most expensive. It's right now the sort of uncontested. It's 4K, 8K, VR, AR. These are prodigious. These applications consume prodigious amount of processing power, compute, storage, and there isn't in those particular areas. Since they're emerging, there's not as much lock-in as you would find, with sort of older HD video, for instance. And I mean, that's where the future is. So I mean, I think what we showed recently with our testnet, we showed live 4K streaming. Being able to encode 4K and distribute it to a large number of people and a large number of platforms is hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, if not millions. So you're talking about, when you get to, 4K and 8K and VR, you're talking about staggering numbers right now in terms of the cost. And so I think we would be, where we're best suited is, let's cut Amazon off at the pass. And I think, we've got a group of people with a level of innovation that, I mean, nothing against AWS, but my guess is the people who are there now are not of the same level as the people that we have. So we really have, going after, where all the growth is probably the single best strategy that we can take over the next several years. Great.
So we'll wrap this up, Halsey, but I want to thank you for being on. I know the community thanks to you for providing some answers on this AMA. And I would like to say everyone that isn't already involved with the VideoCoin project to check out VideoCoin at videocoin.io. Also, if you want to join the communities, we can be found on all the social medias. You can find that also on the website. And again, thank you, Halsey. And we'll give...
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much.